Okay, so I'm attempting a little experiment here where I show you the movement solo and then show it to you later with my partner. This way you can really analyze the way that I'm moving and then see it in action. So we've been talking about the fundamentals of functional Aikido, how to make Aikido work in the real world. And the thing is, I'm not reinventing the wheel here. I'm just saying that some of you may have forgotten the axles and spokes, so to speak. One of the most beautiful things about Aikido is that it's dynamic and fluid and adaptable. And that gets overlooked because everybody's head's stuck in these ticky-tacky little boxes. They think that a style is a collection of techniques, whereas Aikido is a set of principles that are taught through physical teachings. The techniques are the teachings. So what we're going to look at now are iriminage and tenchinage. And they're very similar, as you'll see soon. So with a brand new beginner, you might see starting with a wrist grab, because that's how we do a lot of things. We talked about that in our previous video. This is just how you teach a beginner. This isn't how you do the technique. So anyway, you might start with, say, here's my lead left, my rear right. So that's like a traditional boxing stance, okay? And then this would be a crossing wrist grab where their lead left is grabbing my lead left, all right? And what you do is you would tenchinage back and draw this hand across your center as you're rotating your palm up. That is going to pull them off balance and break their grip. And then you irimi in and use this arm going up under their neck to drop them down. Now, there's no reason why that same movement can't instead be, so again, we're in a traditional boxing stance, all right? So that's their lead left on this side. There's no reason why this can't be slipping the jab, catching this arm, pulling them, not by their wrist. We're not grabbing their wrist at all. We're letting that jab come in and moving past it, deflecting it. We take their whole arm, maybe grab them by the back of the head, rotate them in this way, and then bring the arm up and step through. And once again, we've done iriminage without starting with any physical contact. Okay, making sure that we're still recording. Then tenchinage is just like iriminage, only instead of pulling them and moving them, we're moving in more directly. So in this case, it might be same side wrist grab. That's their lead left grabbing your rear right. This would be kind of as if you were trying to struggle and pull away. All right, so then they're expecting you to move this way. They're not expecting you to move that way. Rotate your hand up, move in, and then bring this arm up and irimi again and drop them. That's tenchinage. And again, there's no reason why this can't be done from punches, okay? So in this case, they're throwing a, let's see, this would be lead jab. Okay, so they're throwing the lead jab. You move in, you bring the elbows up so that you can catch them in heart 1, heart 2, and the median nerve if you're lucky. Or, you know, maybe you'll catch them in the chin. Doesn't matter. The point is you're moving in, you're guarding yourself, okay? And then as they maybe try to follow up with that power right, you're already inside. You're too far inside of their space for them to deliver a proper punch. Without moving at all, they'd have to reach in like they're trying to punch themselves. So they're going to have to move back to reposition themselves so that they can hit you. Okay? Because you've got two arms, you see? And those arms are dangerous out here at this point, this little triangle. So if you move inside of that triangle, what you're doing is you're splitting their center line. You're splitting their line of power. So you move inside, they have to move back or realign themselves somehow. Maybe they want to go for a clinch. That's fine too. In any case, they're still going to have to realign their structure in order to have any kind of power. And as they're doing that, that's where the Aiki part comes in. You see, you're joining with their energy. So their energy, their ki, in this case, is their alignment, their structure, their stance, their power, their intent. All right? You move inside of that, they have to move back. They have to do something to realign themselves. And that's when you throw that arm in, step through. That's tenchinage. Now, the cool thing about this is there's no reason why this can't be any number of other things. For example, we've been talking all purely defensive, okay? This could be going on the offensive, all right? You could just be facing off with somebody. They're giving you trouble, right? You just move straight in. They bring their arms up like they're going to deck you or clobber you or whatever they want to do. You're splitting that center line. You could throw this arm up under their arm, grab them by the back of the head, and rabbit punch them. It's still the same movement. Look, you step in and this. But instead of this, you're doing this. It's still the same basic concept. It's still the same basic movements. Just like when we did iriminage, instead of starting with all this wrist grab and moving all this stuff around, in iriminage, the only difference between the two is in one, you're moving them around, you're taking them to the extremes of their energy and forcing them to realign. In tenchinage, you're moving inside of their space and forcing them to realign. In both